So children, I'm going to explain today some basic points of chapter 1, properties of the matter. So chapter 1 continues. So properties of matter. And so in this, there is one point which is the sublimation. So children, sublimation is an interesting property of some substances. Sublimation is exhibited by very few substances in which solid is directly converted into gas without going to liquid state. So it may be defined as the property of substances due to which they are substances due to which they are converted into gaseous state, converted into gaseous state, converted to gaseous state without going to liquid state, without going to liquid state. So directly converted into gas from solid without going to liquid state. And you know, there are some substances, example, dry ice. Dry ice is what? It is solid CO2. Then there is iodine solid. You almost knowing iodine. Iodine is solid, it is able to undergo sublimation. Then you know camphor. Camphor, in Hindi we call kapoor, which is used in the Aarti or Puja. So camphor is also able to undergo sublimation. Then ammonium chloride. Ammonium chloride, its formula is NS4Cl. There are many more substances, children will see in high classes, but the point is why some substances they undergo sublimation. So it is because of the poor force of attraction. You know, poor force of attraction. The substances, the solids, actually in sublimation, solid is there. Solid is converted into gas. This is the point. Solid is converted into gas without going to liquid state. Now, here example is dry ice. So CO2 gas at high pressure, low temperature, there is conversion into solid carbon dioxide. When CO2 gas is compressed, means there is a compression, reducing volume, and at low temperature, it is converted to CO2 gas. And this CO2 gas is called as dry ice. It is called as dry ice. Now, important part is why it is called dry ice. So I am writing question. Question is why dry ice is the nickname for solid CO2. It can be written in other way also, that why solid CO2 is called as dry. So children, answer is very simple. It is because solid CO2 has tendency to undergo sublimation without going to liquid state. And that's why it is called as dry ice. It is unable to wet the vessel, unable to wet the surrounding area. So, because solid CO2 is directly converted into gaseous CO2 without going to liquid state. So this is very important part. That's why it is unable to wet the surface. The vessel in which it has been kept, or the instrument or the appliance which we use to hold the dry ice piece, it is unable to wet the surface. बच्चों बात समझ आ गई? Now children, I am going to explain a very important point, that why there are only few substances which undergoes sublimation. So answer is very simple. The force of attraction between the molecules is very low. So the substances able to show sublimation have very poor attractive force, between the molecules. The attractive forces are very poor. And so as a result, the substances very few. They are very soft, children. The substances which undergo sublimation are very soft solids. Like you have seen the camphor. Camphor is just like wax. It is able to exhibit sublimation. Similarly, iodine. If you take iodine solid, so it is just like soil. Similarly, ammonium chloride. You must be knowing naphthalene, which we used in our cupboards, toilets to have the proper fragrance, do not have the smell. So this is all about sublimation. Now coming to the use of dry ice. What are the uses of dry ice? Uses of dry ice. So children, first is preservation of highly perishable substances for Transportation. Highly perishable means the substance. Highly perishable means the substances which are decomposed, destroyed very easily. Like, for example, the ice creams. If the ice cream has to be transported on a small scale, that is no gender or no special van is required. So in that condition, the persons carry with bricks of dry ice. Dry ice is just like thermocol. It is kept at a very low temperature and the bricks are there. The persons who provide such solutions, they keep the dry ice. And so ice cream is packed between the dry ice and it is completely covered and then it's transported. Or the persons who sell the ice cream in big cities, the vendors who sell the ice cream in big cities, metros, because they come out from their house early in the morning. And so poor person, they sell for throughout the day. And so they don't have the electricity. So they carry in their ice box, in their ice cream box, they have the dry ice, dry bricks. And they keep ice cream boxes, packets between the dry ice bricks. And so it is one point. Then prevention of decaying, degrading of organic or biological samples. The biological samples, dead bodies, the organs which are transported from one place to another, they are kept. Or suppose if there is the transportation of the lungs or kidney or any organ or eye, so it has to be kept in the dry ice because dry ice prevents from the decay. Then in cosmetic surgery, in cosmetic surgery, if there is any mole on the face or any body person, then the cosmetic surgeons, they apply dry ice. So dry ice has very low temperature and the mole or the scar becomes very hard and tough. Then the doctor scratch it out from the body. So this is about the functions of dry ice or uses of the dry ice. Now children, I am going to explain a very important part, and it is the melting point and boiling point. Melting point and boiling point. Melting point. So melting point, it is written as like this, MPT. So melting point, children, very simple. The temperature at which a solid melts. The temperature at which a solid melts. Temperature at which solid melts is called as melting point. And melting point in it is measured in degree Celsius. It is measured in degree Celsius and Kelvin. Kelvin is the SI unit of the measurement of temperature. And so why solid melts? Solid melts by supply of heat. On heating, solid melts. Now other is boiling point. Boiling point, boiling point DPT. So again same, the temperature at which a liquid boils. So the temperature at which a liquid boils. Liquid boils is called as boiling point. Again, unit is same. Unit degree Celsius and Kelvin. So this is very much important about this melting point and boiling point of the different substances. Children must know, like gases, like we have this atmosphere. In the atmosphere, there are the gases. Gases are, we have the gases. It means gases have very, very low melting and boiling point. Gases have very, very low melting point and boiling point. That's why we are able to see gases in atmosphere. Very, very low, and they can do any danger if we touch any liquid gas. Like just you have seen the solid suit dry ice. It is used in surgery. So similarly, liquid gases are very much dangerous because their temperature is very low. Their temperature is very low, and so they can harm us. They can harm us, and so it is very much important, and so it is there. Now I am going to explain, children, the next point, which is very much important, and it is the evaporation and boiling. So first we'll see evaporation. So evaporation is the conversion of a liquid into its vapors at any temperature or at even at room temperature. So it is defined as the conversion of a liquid to vapors. Conversion of liquid to vapors. Conversion of liquid into vapors at room temperature or any temperature. Just I have mentioned the room temperature. Children know water. Water is evaporated. If water falls down, water is evaporated and then it goes away. Water is evaporated and then goes away. Fair. So it is because of evaporation. Water evaporates. Evaporation of water, and evaporation is due to the force of attraction. Children, all these physical processes are due to the attractive forces. The attractive forces between the molecules, attractive forces between the particles, they are responsible. They are responsible for the evaporation. Like we have example of honey. If you keep honey, honey will never dry out. You must know in the mummies which are present in the Egypt, Cairo, in the pyramids, The mummies are 1,000 years old, and along with the mummies, there were the pots containing the honey. So you can imagine the honey. Honey is such substance in which there is very strong force of attraction. Honey is a special type of liquid, and it do not have the water. And honey is formed from the what? Formed from the juices or nectars from the flowers by the honeybee. So this is very much important part to know that evaporation is a process and it takes place at any temperature. It takes place at any temperature. Now children, I am going to tell some more point about the evaporation. So actually evaporation, it is a surface. It is a surface phenomenon. Surface phenomenon means it takes place from the surface of a liquid. Suppose we have a beaker and this beaker has water. So this water vapors will start from the surface only. You see at your home, whenever any liquid is kept on the stove for boiling, so after some time as we left on the stove, that vapors they start from the surface only. So this is very much important point. Now other point is different substances. Different substances have different rates of evaporation. This is also very much important point. Different substances have different rates of evaporation, and it is because of the difference in the bonding, difference in the force of attraction is in between the particles, in between the molecules. So it is due to the difference in the molecules. The molecules have different attractive forces. The molecules have different attractive forces, and as a result, evaporation is the rate of evaporation is there. Even the oil, like groundnut oil, like soybean oil, like mustard oil, you can see, or you must have noticed in your home, when we heat groundnut oil, so groundnut oil is very much sensitive to temperature. As soon as we heat, it starts smoking. The temperature is less required in case of groundnut oil. Similarly, soybean oil, it requires more temperature. Mustard oil, it is also more temperature. It is stable quite to the heat. And so, children, evaporation is the physical property. It is the internal property of any substance, and it depends on the force of attraction between the particles. So 2 points, it is surface phenomenon and it is different for different substances. Now children, I am going to next part, and next is the boiling. Next is the boiling. So boiling is interior. Boiling interior or bulk phenomenon. Boiling is interior or bulk phenomenon. Interior or bulk phenomenon. This is one point. Means inside and Second, it takes place at high temperature. These are 2 points. Bulk phenomenon. It takes place at high temperature. If we see here in this diagram, and if we take the liquid to boil, so if it is kept for boiling, and here the flame is there, so here now see there is the conventional current. Conventional current is set. On heating, the liquid from the lower portion, it goes upward, and the lighter liquid will rise upward, and then heavy will fall. So all the liquids, they have this type of condition, and so there is a difference between the evaporation and boiling. So they are just opposite in nature. They are just opposite in the